Hey, hey, what's happening, my joyful people? It's Kimberly. I am coming to you kind of late today. Like, what's up with that? So sorry, but I had a presentation and another client and pick up my kid from school, and then I needed to do a little more research for something. So I'm just getting in here today to do part two, of our MCT oil. So I'm excited about sharing this with you. So the first part of what I want to do is just recap. Remember, MCT oil last week we talked about it promoting great weight loss. We talked about it being a good source of energy. We also talked about reducing lactic acid in the athletes. And when we talk about lactic acid, that's that burning feeling in your muscles. Hey, Reginald, so good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. Glad you got a chance to catch it live. And then we also talked about how it can fight yeast and bacterial infections in the body. So those were the four things that we talked about last week. This week, and if you happen to miss it, go check it out, okay? It's on my YouTube channel, and it's also, you can find it in my videos on Facebook. But today we're going to talk about some really serious benefits, like some things that can be extremely helpful for individuals. So people who are trying to manage epilepsy, Alzheimer's, and autism. So we're going to talk about it in that order. So with epilepsy actually, or I should say the keto diet was actually, or ketogenic, I should say, that was kind of short for ketogenic, but the keto diet was created by a doctor for people who were epileptic, and it was showing them how reducing sugar can change the brain function and keep them from having seizures as often. So whenever we talked about MCT oil being a short chain, so it goes, in the liver, it's converted to energy very quickly. It allows you to go into a ketogenic kind of burn state. So basically it increases the ketone production. So that's what fasting does. And the ketone production is increased when you eat or consume MCT oil. So that is huge. But ask your doctor if you are suffering from seizures, or if you have a child who's suffering from seizures, if that's something that they would recommend, but it is something that can be really, really helpful. For those with Alzheimer's disease, understand that Alzheimer impairs your brain's ability to use sugar. So the more you can get into a paleo/ketogenic type of eating, once again, talking to your doctor to make sure that that's something that they agree with, the more you will save your brain cells. And so a ketogenic diet offers that alternate state of energy coming from fat instead of sugar. And so that way the brain cells can survive better. And then also it blocks the receptors that cause memory loss. So that's huge. So really great news for those that might be dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's is to think about getting some it's called caprylic. I did look it up. So caprylic and capric acid to improve that function in the brain. All right. So you want to look for MCT oil with caprylic or capric acid. That can improve the system. All right. Autism. Let's move on to that one. All right. So the next one for autism, anything with MCT, keto, and gluten-free can actually, and has been documented to help not all, but some kids in the range from ages 6 to 15 with behavioral issues with autism. So asking a doctor once again about that, but I would tell you it's worth a try putting MCT oil in a smoothie daily or tea or anything that you think that they would enjoy eating and wouldn't really know that they're taking the oil would be great, and to see over time if that helps. But also remembering you probably are going to need to change some things, like I said, as far as gluten-free, and also reducing the amount of sugar that your child or family member is receiving if they have autism. All right, so that's that. Now on to how it can reduce and help factors for heart disease. So the first thing is that it can lower the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, all right, the low density lipids, and when MCT oil is added to the diet. And it can increase the HDL, or the high density lipids, the good part of the heart protective cholesterol. So that's a great thing to add in there as well. Hey, Sybil. Hey, Joy. So good to see you. I'm happy that you're here. So it can also significantly reduce what we call C-reactive protein, or CRP, all right? CRP is an inflammatory marker that increases the risk of heart disease. So it will significantly reduce that CRP in the body, that inflammatory factor. So adding some MCT to your smoothies, to your tea, to your coffee, to your salads. Remember, we don't cook with it. We talked about that last week. We don't cook with it, but using it in this way can be really helpful for your body. And then it also may help manage your blood sugar. And we're moving on to those that might have diabetes. Remember, it's shown to help you lose weight, which is huge. It also switches the body to burning fats for fuel instead of sugar, which is great. And so they say it's shown to reduce fat storage and increase fat burning within the body. And it aids in managing the condition of diabetes. But it also, MCT oil daily, has a reduction in body weight, waist circumference, and insulin resistance. So this is a study that was done, and this was the outcome of it. So I see all the way around that there's so many benefits to just putting a spoonful in your tea, coffee, smoothie, or on your salad. You know, your vegetables, whatever you want to do, dipping some bread in there. I'm glad, Sybil, that you're sold. Excellent. I love hearing that. So the only drawbacks, and I'm going to give you them because you know I do a well-rounded situation, is that it can increase hunger hormones. But from what I've understood, you have to be like doing 6 or 7 cups of coffee a day and putting MCT oil in. It's for a very increased, elevated level of use. But they did this study also with individuals that had anorexia, so that it helped to increase their ability to want to eat. But like I said, you have to be using it excessively. And then the other thing is that using it excessively, I'm talking about multiple grams of MCT, it could produce fat in the liver. But like I said, that means that you're abusing it. Remember, everything in moderation. Hey, Shatara, I didn't know you were on. Good to see you. So I hope that is helpful to you. I hope that you have learned a little bit about MCT oil over the past 2 weeks and its benefits. If you have any questions, please, by all means, ask me in the comment section. And I do ask you to forward this, share this message out with other people. It doesn't cost anything to hit the share button. You never know who you might be helping. Hey, Kimberly, so good to see you. It's been years. And I hope that this is the end of my message, but I hope that you have an opportunity to catch the replay. It's well worth listening to last week as well. Catch that first part of the MCT. And if you can't find it on Facebook, I have a YouTube page, everybody, and all of my Share the Joys are listed there. I think I have 150 of them already. All right, so peace and blessings. I hope this has been helpful for you. I really want to remind you, my Momentum Not Motion ladies 1-year life coaching is full. And I want to thank everyone who interviewed and wanted to be a part of that program. So I'm excited to say that we are full for 2021. But Gut Check 21, which is my online coaching program, is not full. And it's never full. And we start January 4th, and it's where you get a health coach for life. And we do a 21-day whole foods detox. You get this kind of information on steroids, and you get access to me with questions through a weekly, or actually I do it twice a week, Zoom call. So I hope that you join me for Gut Check 21. It is an amazing program. And like I said, once you pay for it, it's for life. So there are people who have been doing gut checks since 2015, and they have access to me. I just got off the phone with one of my first gut checkers about something that's going on with her. And I just think it's a beautiful thing that I have these group coaching clients and people that I get to help them throughout the course of their lives when things come up. So if that's something that interests you, I would love to have you for the January 4th start 2021 of Gut Check 21. All right, so MCT oil, all of that was shared. If you're just joining in, catch the replay, go back and look at last week so you have all the information. And last but not least, make sure you grab some MCT off of my Amazon page, which I'll put in the comments section, or off of, at one of your local grocery stores. All right. So peace and blessings once again. Stay positive and remember to share the joy and do all things with joy. Until next week. Well, you know what, next week? Yeah, I'll still come on next week, even though it's a holiday. All right. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.